Like many communities looking to upgrade municipal services, one of the areas of focus for town leaders in Arlington has been water and sewer infrastructure. A special town committee has been formed by the town's select board to explore ways to move beyond private and individual septic systems, which would allow for more commercial possibilities by the town's businesses and grow the size of the town's grand list. Currently, Arlington does have one water treatment plant located near the Fisher Elementary School, which serves both the town's nearby Canfield Library as well as the Arlington Memorial High School across the street. But more could potentially be done, with help from state funds, as we learned during a conversation by the water plant recently with town administrator Nick Zayas.
So Arlington's considering all options on improving wastewater in our town. We know that there's need from homeowners and from potential homeowners to get capacity for their septic systems, and some of them have failing septic systems with the prospects of high bills in the future. We know that the vitality of any downtown is going to rely on sewer capacity being available to allow the types of businesses that make a community thrive, including restaurants and health facilities and schools. The town formed a few months ago a committee of the select board and members of the public to cooperate and have a conversation about what the town is looking to get engineering studies on to understand what its wastewater options are. So far, they've determined 6 potential areas of town that could be well served by wastewater solutions, including the center of town in both north and south, East Arlington, the area around the school that we're at right now, and the near West Arlington on the other side of the Battenkill River and the water streets, and then far north Arlington. So these areas are all relatively dense. They have small lots and with limited options for new septic fields, and many of them are centrally located around our village centers that are the core of our community.
So we're here in front of the wastewater system or plant that services the schools and the library here. Could this be tapped into, for no pun intended, to service other parts of the town?
Yeah, that's one of the options. It's certainly one that we're looking into. Where there are constraints on the infrastructure and where the water can go, but it certainly is something where we are looking into options of how this plant could be expanded or how other facilities could be built in other areas of town, as well as potential land-based solutions in some cases where the terrain is less favorable.
So up to this point, then most like say some of the commercial properties along 7A or Main Street or elsewhere in town, as well as all the residential areas, have been all like private wells. Has that pretty much been the case?
Yeah. Only a handful of properties are served by any kind of high infrastructure, we'll say sewer system. Most people, almost every property in Arlington relies on a septic system on their personal property, and it deals with the many trials and tribulations that come with owning your own tiny wastewater facility.
So have there been any estimates made yet as to what it would cost to shift from private wells and septic to a commercial, more public one?
There has been some study of this that we had undertaken a study in 2008 that was of more limited scope than what we're looking at today, but much of the estimate will come from after we've done the engineering, which itself is almost certainly going to be paid for by state money associated with the village wastewater program.
So that's state money as opposed to, say, the federal ARPA money.
Correct. These are existing state programs that the state has in place for identifying new wastewater solutions for important town centers all over the state. That this was set up to work with communities that look exactly like ours, to get the engineering money and the engineering studies done so we can meaningfully talk about how much things will cost and what solution is best for what area of a community.
Is it the case that there are some businesses along, let's say, Main Street there that might have wanted to put like say an outdoor patio or outdoor seating for, dining or whatever, but weren't able to do that because the water situation was not up to snuff?
That's exactly it. One of the biggest constraints on restaurants and dining in general in the center of a community with no sewer is the sewer capacity. There are sewer requirements for restaurants, and those requirements kind of make sense. Restaurants wash a lot of dishes. They create a lot of wastewater and things like that. That make it so you absolutely need wastewater capacity to have a really thriving area of restaurants. And one thing that really excites us about the prospects of wastewater improvements is the opportunity to add new small businesses that serve our people and bring us new services that we can all enjoy.
The next meeting of the Arlington Wastewater Subcommittee will be on April 21st. This could well be a long-term project, but one town leaders are seeing as important to the town's future growth. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.